video, we will see how to find out the transfer function for any given electrical network. I think the knowledge of transfer function is very important for you to use it in block diagram reduction techniques that we come across in control systems. Okay, so today what we do is we'll learn transfer function in this video. Okay, so how to find out the transfer function for any given electrical network. So what exactly the definition of the transfer function? Transfer function is nothing but the output parameter divided by the input parameter. Output parameter divided by the input parameter. Output parameter by input parameter. Now what would be the knowledge of the transfer function gives you? So what would be the benefit of finding out the output by input parameter? So if you think, what is the benefit of the transfer function, we would say the response of the system, right? So that is what the major thing which we need to keep in mind. So when I work on transfer function, then I would be more concentrating on the response of the system for any input that you give for the system. Okay, so if you measure the ratio, which is a mathematical expression where you try to find out the output divided by input, this will normally give you a gain parameter. Okay, so normally for any electrical circuit we'll have voltage gain and current gain. So that is what we normally calculate in any amplifier circuits. If you take, we normally go with calculating voltage gain and current gain. So therefore the transfer function here will give you the knowledge of the response of the system for any input that we give. So that response is basically dealt with the voltage gain and current gain. Okay, so that is what the definition of the transfer function is all about. Now let us firstly look into this circuit and let us try to find out the transfer function for this given circuit. See, in this circuit, the main thing that you should see here is there is no value of R1 or C1 or R2 and C2 is given. So still we can derive the transfer function for this particular network. So we normally call this as parallel and series RC network as lead and lag network. Okay, lead lag network. So therefore, how to find out the transfer function for this particular network? Okay, so as we have the resistance and capacitor, we normally get the current through the capacitor or the voltage through the capacitor will be integral differential equation if you write in time domain, right? If I write the equation in term for voltage and gain, if I write voltage and gain equation for the capacitor, then we normally see that you will be getting an integral differential equation. The reason is integral differential equation in time domain. In time domain. So what is that? Now for example, if you say what is voltage across the capacitor, we normally say it is 1 over C integration of I dt, right? This is the normal formula for the voltage across the capacitor we see. Whereas if I see what is the current through the capacitor, then I would say it is C into dVc by dt. Okay, so capacitance multiplied by the time rate of change of voltage will give you the current through the capacitor. Now writing in time domain would be a very difficult task, because to find out the solution for this integral differential equation in time domain would be very difficult task. I hope you all students have learnt network theory or network analysis, where a lot of videos that I have already posted in my YouTube channel, where I have clearly said what would be the benefit of Laplace transformation. Okay, so here, to avoid the difficulties that we face in time domain, we normally go in analyzing the circuit by using a Laplace transformation. So therefore, I'll fastly show you the table for the Laplace equivalent terms here. This I have already explained in network theory subject. I hope you can go back and look into the Laplace transformation chapter in my network theory videos. There you will easily find out why I am taking this particular parameters. So here the resistance R will remain as I of t into R, therefore it will remain as I of s into R. So the Laplace domain behavior of the resistance will remain as R only. So there is no changes in terms of R that will happen in Laplace equivalent circuit if I write. Now if I write the Laplace equivalent circuit for the inductance L, then we see that the voltage across the inductor would be equal to L into di of t by dt. So normally if I have the differentiation term, the Laplace transform of that particular differentiation term will always be equal to S multiplied by the Laplace transform of that particular parameter which is varying with respect to time. Okay, so it is S into I of s. Okay, so I'll say S into I of s, and this L gets multiplied here. So therefore it is SL I of s. So therefore if you have any inductor in the circuit, we will try to replace that inductor as SL in my Laplace equivalent circuit. Similarly, the voltage across the capacitor is 1 over C integration of I of t dt. So the Laplace transform of, so anyway, this is the Laplace transform. I'm sorry, I think I said it is Laplace transform, so L will not come here. Okay, this L is getting multiplied with this L. This is the Laplace transform. Okay, Laplace transform of integration of I of t dt will be equal to I of s by s. You divide by s for integration, you multiply by s for differentiation. Okay, so therefore 1 over c into this I of s by s can be written as 1 over sc into I of s. Therefore in the circuit, when you try to write the Laplace equivalent circuit, our capacitor will be changed to 1 over sc. Fine. So this knowledge we'll try to apply to this circuit now. Okay, I'll just erase this time domain. We don't need time domain here. So now I do have R and C here. So therefore I'll write the Laplace equivalent circuit for this. So this is, now in my Laplace equivalent circuit, E in will become E in of S. So this is S says it is a Laplace equivalent voltage. This becomes E out of S, E naught. Now R remains to be R, so we will not change R. Whereas C1 will now be 1 over C1S, C2 will now be 1 over C2S. So this is how the Laplace equivalent circuit is been written. Now what exactly the question here asked is to find out the transfer function of this given circuit. So you need to find out what is the transfer function for this particular circuit. So therefore I would say the transfer function for this circuit would be equal to, I think I zoomed the screen so the ink is quite fat in color. Okay, that the transfer function would be equal to E out of S is the output voltage divided by E in of S is the input voltage. Okay, E out of S divided by E in of S. Now what I'll do, I'll try to take a current through this particular circuit. So I'll say I of S is the current through this entire circuit. So instead of this, I'll just write another circuit here. This would be the another circuit which I can write. So here this is Z1 and this is Z2. So this is E in out of S. So this is E out of S. whereas this is E in of S. This is E in of S, whereas the current through this circuit is I of S. I of S. Now what is Z1? Z1 is nothing but R1 parallel with 1 over C1S, whereas Z2 equals R2 plus 1 over C2S. So this is Z2, okay. Z1 is the impedance where R1 is parallel with 1 over C1S. Z2 is the impedance where R2 is in series with 1 over C2S. So when it is in series, you add both. When it is in parallel, we take R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 format, okay. Now what would be the E in of S here in the equation? What would be E in of S equals? E in of S would be equal to, so what would be E in of S? We'll write the equation now. We'll write the equation. Now if you see carefully, this is open, okay. There is no what do you say, the current here, okay. So the I of S is the current flowing through both Z1 and Z2. Therefore the total voltage E in of S would be equal to the total current I of S, the total E in of S equals I of S into R of S. So the total current multiplied by the total impedance, which is Z1 plus Z2, okay. E in of S would be equal to I of S into Z1 plus Z2, or I can say I of S is equal to E in of S divided by Z1 plus Z2. I would say I of S equals E in of S divided by Z1 plus Z2. This can be written, okay. Now what is E out of S? E out of S would be equal to, so voltage across Z2, it is nothing but the current I of S multiplied by Z2. That's it, very simple. So the current through Z2 is I of S multiplied by Z2. Now I will substitute this I of S with this term, okay. So therefore E out of S equals, I of S is what? E in of S divided by Z1 plus Z2 multiplied by Z2. Therefore E out of S by E in of S would be equal to Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. Now what you do is, what is Z1? So Z1 is R1 multiplied by 1 over C1S divided by R1 plus 1 over C1S. So you will be getting R1 by 1 plus C1 R1S. You take LCM, C1S you take LCM. So both numerator and denominator C1S will get cancelled. So you will be left out with Z1 to be equal to R1 by 1 plus C1 R1S. Similarly Z2 equals, if you take LCM, you get C2 R2S plus 1 divided by C2S. This is Z2. You can substitute Z2 and Z1 in this equation and finally find out what would be E out of S by E in of S in terms of R1, C1 and C2 and S, okay. So anyway, this is not a network circuit network theory subject where you find out the time domain again by applying inverse Laplace transform and all. So here we needed to find out what is the transfer function for the given electrical network, because this knowledge on transfer function what we take here will help you in block diagram reduction techniques when we try to apply for any given mechanical system. There also we find out the transfer function. So therefore finding the transfer function in block diagram reduction will help you, the knowledge that you gain here will help there to find out the transfer function, okay. So anyway, this is the final answer, the transfer function for the given network. You can substitute what is Z2, Z1. So you can substitute what is Z2, Z1 and Z2 here in this equation and finally find out what would be the answer. Now let us go to the next problem. So this is the problem which is given here. So find the transfer function C of s by R of s for a system having differential equation given below. So they have given the time domain equation for you. Now my job is to find out what is C of s by R of s. This is very simple. So such questions can also be asked in the exam for 2 or 3 marks. So I just wanted to discuss with you about this. Very simple. Apply Laplace for this. So apply Laplace transform for the above equation. So what do we get here? So the double derivative of the Laplace transform of any double derivative is it is just multiplying s square into C of s. So that is what you get. So you just multiply s with you just change the power of s. So therefore Laplace transform of any nth derivative is s to the power of n into that particular parameter that you are going to find out the Laplace. Therefore s to the power of n into C of s. Therefore here 2 into C of t, right? Therefore s square into C of s plus 2 into s into C of s. We know that single derivative is s into C of s plus C of s equals R of s. R of t Laplace is R of s plus R of t minus 1 would be 2 into e power minus s into R of s, because R of t minus 1 is nothing but the Laplace R of t minus 1. So that is nothing but Laplace transform of the function of t minus 1 would be equal to e power minus t into f of s. So therefore e power minus 1 into s. So it is e power minus minus s into e power minus s into f of s. So here e power minus s, because it is t minus 1. If it is t minus 2, e power minus 2s would be the answer. Anyway, now I'll take C of s common here. So I'll get 2s square plus 2s plus 1, which is equal to R of s common. If I take, I'll get 1 plus 2 into e power minus s. So therefore C of s by R of s is the transfer function which is asked, which would be equal to 1 plus 2 into e power minus s divided by 2s square plus 2s plus 1. So therefore this would be the transfer function which is asked in this particular question. Okay, so this would be the transfer function for the given differential equation. Okay, now let us go and find out the transfer function for this particular network which is given here. Okay, so it is similar to the first one which we did, but we have an inductor here. So we'll write the equivalent. So equivalent Laplace equivalent circuit fastly. So we have resistance here, we have an inductor, we have a capacitor. So therefore the Laplace equivalent circuit R remains as R, L will now become L into S, C will become 1 over Cs. Now this would be what? E in of S, and this would be E out of S. So let me take a current I of S here. So therefore I would say this is Z1. So Z1 would be equal to R plus Ls, whereas Z2 would be equal to 1 over Cs. So therefore if I say what is E I of S, then again it would be the total voltage E in of S divided by the summation of both the impedance Z1 plus Z2. Now what is the equation for E out of S? That would be equal to I of S into Z2. Therefore E out of S equals I of S is E in of S by Z1 plus Z2, by Z1 plus Z2 multiplied by Z2. Therefore, E out of S by E in of S would be equal to Z2 by Z1 plus Z2, which is equal to 1 over CS divided by R plus LS plus 1 over CS. Therefore, E out of S by E in of S would be equal to, so this is quite simple, so I will just derive it completely. So it is 1 divided by CS into R plus LS plus 1. So this would be the final transfer function equation for the given problem. Okay, so this is the transfer function for the given electrical circuit. Okay, let us look into this problem now. In this problem, two transfer functions are being asked in the question. The first one is you need to find out what is V2 of S by V1 of S. So that is the first one. Second one is you need to find out what is V1 of S by I1 of S. Okay, fine. So let us now write the Laplace equivalent circuit for this particular given network. So though the components are too much components are there in the network, I hope students should not feel it difficult, because the circuit seems to be very complicated, but when we try to solve it, I hope you will realize how simple it is. Okay, anyway, so let us write the Laplace equivalent circuit. So therefore I'll have an inductor, resistor here, and I do have another resistor here. So I'll have a resistor here, then capacitor, then you have a resistor and another capacitor here. Now this is V1 of S. I can write this as V1 of S, and the current through this would be I1 of S. So this would be V2 of S. Normally this will be plus terminal, this is be minus terminal, minus will always be ground, we all know that. Now 1 Henry, so this becomes 1S, because L value is given as 1, therefore it is 1 into S. This will also be 1 into S. This both remains to be 1 ohm and 1 ohm, whereas this remains to be 1 ohm. This is 1 over 2S, because capacitor value is given as 2. This is also 1 over 2S, whereas this will remain to be 1 over 4. So this would be the Laplace equivalent circuit for a given electrical circuit. Now if you carefully see here, you do have two different impedances here. This is one. This can be one set of impedance I can take by considering all parallel series combination. This can be another set of impedance I can take. Therefore I'll calculate what is. So finally I'll be writing a circuit which will have one impedance here, one impedance here. Like how we got earlier, same way we will be getting the here also. So finally what we do is we'll have V1 of S here, we'll have I1 of S here, we'll have Z1, Z2, and this will be V2 of S. I think you are clear. Now I1 of S is flowing in this direction, so it is nothing but I of S. I1 of S is flowing in that entire loop, right? So let us solve this now. Impedance Z1 here. So let us find out the impedance Z1. So here Z1 would be equal to this, both are in parallel, that is in series with this, and then that will come in parallel with 1. Therefore these both are in parallel, therefore I'll say S into 1 divided by S plus 1. So that will be S by S plus 1. That is in series with 1S, therefore I'll say plus S. So what do I get? S plus S square plus S divided by S plus 1. So which is equal to 2S plus S square divided by S plus 1. Now this 2S square 2s plus s square by s plus 1 is now in parallel with 1, parallel with this one. So therefore that would be equal to 2s plus s square divided by s plus 1 into 1 whole thing divided by 2s plus s square by s plus 1 plus 1. So that would be equal to 2s plus s square divided by 2s plus s square plus s plus 1. So s plus 1 gets cancelled. So I'll see that s into s plus 2 divided by 2s s square plus 3s plus 1. So therefore z1 equals s into s plus 2 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. So now let us find out what is z2. So z2, if we see, first thing is this both are in parallel. So therefore 1 over 4 parallel with 1 over 2s. So which will be equal to 1 over 4 into 1 over 2s divided by 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2s. That will give me 1 over 8s, 8s gets cancelled. So 1 over 2s plus 4. So this is what we get, that parallel combination. Now that parallel in turn added with 1 over 2s, which is, this is in series with this 2. Therefore it will be added in with 1 over 2s. So what do I get here is 2s plus 4 divided by 2s into 2s plus 4. So I'll end up in getting 2s plus 2s is 4s plus 4 divided by 2s into, so I'll just take 2 common in this, so therefore this becomes 4. So 4s into s plus 2. So if I take 4 in common in the numerator, I'll get s plus 1 divided by s into s plus 2. Now this s plus 1 by s plus 2 is what? This whole thing. Okay, this whole thing is what? S plus 1 divided by s into s plus 2. Now that is in parallel with this 1. That is in parallel with the 1. Therefore finally this will be multiplied by 1 and divided by s plus 1 divided by s into s plus 2 added with 1, because it is parallel with 1. So finally what will I get? So s plus 1 into divided by, okay, s into s plus 2 whole thing divided by s plus 1 divided plus s into s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 2. So therefore s into s plus 2, s into s plus 2 gets cancelled. Finally we are left out with s plus 1 divided by s plus 1 plus s square plus 2s. S plus 1 plus s square plus 2s, which will give me s plus 1 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. So therefore z2 is s plus 1 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. So this is z. So we got z1, we got z2. So come back to the diagram which we have written here. We see that this is similar to the first and third problem which we have solved. Therefore here the total impedance is z1 and z2. The current moving through I1 of s is the current flowing through z1 and z2. Therefore I can say the total current I1 of s would be equal to the input voltage V1 of s divided by the summation of these two impedances. Therefore I can say V1 of s by I1 of s would be equal to z1 plus z2. Therefore I'll add this z1 and z2. So z1 plus z2 would be equal to, what is z1? It is s into s plus 2 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1 added with s plus 1 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. So both as s square plus 3s plus 1, therefore I'll take s square plus 3s plus 1 as LCM. So I'll say s into s plus 2 is s square plus 2s plus s plus 1. So that would be equal to s square plus 2s plus s is 3s plus 1 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. Therefore both gets cancelled. Therefore v1 of s by I1 of s would be equal to 1. So this is the first transfer function which we have got for the given question. Now the second transfer function which is asked in the question is, what is v2 of s by v1 of s? So we know that the current v2 of the voltage v2 of s would be equal to current flowing through Z2 multiplied by Z2, right? So this is v2 of s, current I1 of s multiplied by Z2. Now we know that v1 of s equals I1 of s. We got v1 of s by I1 of s equals 1. Therefore I can say v1 of s equals I1 of s. Therefore v2 of s equals v1 of s into Z2. Therefore v2 of s by v1 of s would be equal to Z2. Therefore v2 of s by v1 of s would be equal to, what is Z2 we got? We got s plus 1 divided by s square plus 3s plus 1. So this is the transfer function. Sorry, this is v1 of s. This is the transfer function we got for v2 of s and v1 of s. Okay, so I hope in this problem, whatever they have asked, two different transfer functions, we have completely derived both the transfer functions for this particular problem. Okay, I hope with these problems, whatever I have solved to find out the transfer function, you are clear with how to find out the transfer function for any given electrical network. So you need to know how to find out the Laplace equivalent circuit for the given electrical circuit, and then for that Laplace transformed network, you can just look into the parallel and series combinations, and finally you can reduce the complete diagram into a simplest form and then try to find out what is the transfer function, like how I did in all these problems. Okay, I hope this video has helped you to learn the transfer function of the electrical networks. As I said this is very important for the block diagram reduction techniques that we learn in the next video in the control systems. Okay.